Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. This is the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, and we're here to talk all things reality TV for you. I am Lana, your resident evil diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Sure. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. Yes, I am here all alone on the island. No man is an island. No man stands alone. But I stand alone today because Logan has Eurovision and Jack has graduation. And so it's like, I can't fault them for having things to do. But it's okay because I'm going to give you my quick thoughts and rundowns on all things Survivor this week. This is episode 11, um, and we're going to talk about it. But first, before we do anything, you should get your cup mug. Get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below, and you can check all of that out. Um, and I'm just drinking some water because hydration is important, and it's hot on this island, y'all. I got to stay hydrated, so I'm drinking me some water for sure. And like I said, we are talking about um, reality TV, Survivor 46, and it's that's what we're talking about, Survivor 46. And yeah, but before we do that, y'all see I'm trying to multitask and do so many things at one time. That does not become me. That's not something I do. So yeah, I'm trying to do that. But anyway, before we jump into Survivor 46, do the things. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to our other three channels if you're into drag or drag race. We have a channel, The Cup Pod, our main channel. If you are into Eurovision, which is happening right now, you should go over to The Cup ESC, and they're doing all the coverage on Eurovision. It's very exciting happening right now. So that's a channel you really need to go to right now, like right now, and subscribe so you can get all that amazing content that they have going on. And also, if you're a fan of wrestling, go to the Cup Ringside because we have weekly shows every content coming out, and we have Smack, Raw, and NXT every week, and also our all the PLEs we discuss, do predictions and recaps, and also little mid card videos, tier lists, top 10 lists, and documentary conversations. And so, yeah, check out the Cup Ringside, to get all of that information as well. So now we're here to talk about 46. And Tiffany has gone home. Tiffany went home, and Kenzie's feeling some type of way that she did not know. And so she's a little upset about it. She's upset that she did not know that um, she didn't know that the plan was happening, and she was upset because that was her plan. Originally, that was her plan. That's what she wanted to do, but they didn't do it, and so she was like, "Ugh, I'm annoyed with this." So she went off and sat by herself, and Charlie came over to try to console her to make her feel better about what was happening. Yeah, she was kind of upset, and Charlie understood. And I think Charlie is definitely making his, better, like, bidding his people like along, and he's kind of hedge his bets. I think he's kind of like, I know who my people are, and I know Maria is somebody who he wants to work with, but he also knows, and I think he's finding out more and more that he needs more people outside of Maria. So he's trying to get in good graces with like Kinsey and Venus and other people. So he went to her, consoled her, was like, "Yeah, it just didn't happen that way." And she was like, "I know people were thinking I might tell her, which I understand, but that's what I wanted to do, so I would have been down with that and all this other stuff." So she was a little bit in her feelings. He was there to console her and make her feel better. And so we get more people's reaction. Maria is on cloud nine about the move that she made. Get rid of Tiff. She was just like, it was what had to be done. It was time, and I'm so glad we got to do that. Nah, nah, nah. And Charlie is letting her have that moment, letting her have her victory. He was like, "That's your move. That's all you." And he's thinking that if everybody thinks it's all her, that she just made a big power move, that if it comes back to blow back on them, it'll come back on her and not him. Which I was like, it's smart, absolutely. You should definitely, if somebody else want to be the big dog, let them be the big dog. It's okay. It's okay. But so the next day, I mean, it's really just a lot of. The next day is idol hunting day because Tiffany went home with the idol in her pocket. So everybody's like, we got to go look for this idol. We just have to. We have to look for the idol. And because it's out there, we know it's out there. And so that's what happened. Everybody goes looking, everybody's searching for what this idol possibly could be. They're looking all over the beach. Venus is like, I kind of have an edge because I know where Raiden's idol was, where he found his, and I know where Tiff was when she found hers. So I'm going to look in those areas, which is smart, very smart of her to think like that. And so she was looking in those areas, and she actually found the idol. She didn't have to go do anything extra. She didn't have to go do a puzzle or figure things out. It was just an idol. And she got the idol. She was very excited, put it in her pocket, and she wasn't telling nobody. Zip, lip, nobody needs to know. But she was like, "Ah, but I should go back and make people not think I have the item so I can keep looking with them." And so that's what she did. She went back and kept looking around with everybody else, which again I thought was very smart because nobody suspects you are looking for an idol that you already have. So she was like, it was very smart. It was very smart of her to do that. Um, so she has it. She's very confident and knowing that she's like, if I play this right, I can get all the way to the end, and you know if I use this at the right time, it can catapult me to the end. Da da da. So she was very excited about it, and as she should be. She should have been excited. She got the idol, and she deserved to be happy about it. Um, so her and Kinsey are talking, and Kinsey's like, "Who would have thought me and Venus will become friends, besties in this game?" But I like her. She's good, and Kinsey was laughing at Venus's idol hunting skills because Venus is like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I moved this. Nope, don't see it. Anybody? Nope. Nope, don't see it. No. And he's like, girl, you gotta move stuff. You gotta make it look like you looking for it. You just can't. She's like, I think Venus is looking to be with somebody who finds the idol so she can have the tea. She don't really need to find it herself. She just wants to know that she has the tea with somebody who has it. So I think that's what it is. All the while, Venus has the idol in her pocket. So it's kind of funny. But I think we're at reward and immunity challenge time because really not nothing happens. It's just a lot of looking for idols, except Liz. Liz is the only one asleep, not looking for the idol. We had conversations with Ben and Q, and they were kind of like, "Okay, well, we did this," and then we had Maria talking about a final five with Q and Ben, Charlie, and Liz, and so she's like, "We can make this a final five. That'd be great." And so Liz wasn't feeling that pain because she still want to get out Q, but it is what it is. Um, we have we have we have Ben and Q talking, and they're like, "Yeah, we could make this work. This would be a great, path for us. Who would have thought we'd do this together? But here we are. Just random conversation." So now we can get to the immunity challenge, which was called Scrambled On, and it was a reward challenge and an immunity challenge. And what they had to do was they had to race to balance a ball on the top of a pole while maneuvering through a series of obstacles, and then along the way, they would have to find another section of the pole and add it to the pole and make it higher. And then they had to cross the balance beam. And then once they got across the balance beam, they had to use a long spoon to maneuver through a windy snake puzzle, and dropping two balls in the target. And whoever drops both balls in the target first will win. And so, yeah, obstacle puzzle. As Logan likes to say, but it was definitely obstacle puzzle. Um, so everybody started off pretty good. Started off, some people, the learning curve of balancing the ball took some people some time, but everybody pretty much got it to the end. And once they got to the end of the to the puzzle part, I mean, everybody was doing really well. Some people struggled on the balance beam, but others kind of made it to the end. And once they made it to that end, it was like, okay, everybody was in it because everybody kept dropping the ball. They kept dropping the um, the ball off the target. And like Jeff said, it was a learning curve. You're gonna have to figure it out. But they were winding it, and Venus and Maria were doing really well. They got really close so many times, and then it kept dropping. Hugh was in it for a minute. I think Charlie was in it for a minute. It was like everybody had a chance to come back and win this challenge, which is challenges I appreciate that everybody can, could possibly win it. And Venus got her first target in. Maria got her first target in. Venus got to the very end for the second target, and she just couldn't get it in the target. Like it was right over it and it dropped the other way. And so it didn't go in the hole. And then um, Maria came back behind her and uh, was very close as she was, as close as Venus was to finishing. That Maria was right behind her, and then ended up winning the whole thing. So Maria wins reward and immunity, and reward was pizza that was going to be delivered back to camp, and Maria was going to have to pick one person to join her. And she was like, Ben has been struggling, so it was the easy choice. She picked Ben. So Ben was very grateful and crying, like, oh my God, thank you. I mean, Ben has been not cried, but whatever. We like Ben, don't we? I mean, sure. Ben's there. Um, for me. This is just my opinion. Ben's there. But he's like, yeah, right. And so when it came, then Jeff said pick somebody else, and she was kind of hesitant and trying to decide who she was going to pick to do this, have feast with this bonus reward with her. And she went through the line and through the list of people trying to decipher who she should pick, saying that Q took her on the last time, so she should pay him back. Liz is hungry, but she has rice. So there's that. And Charlie and Kinsey both backed out. They were like, "You don't have to worry about us. Don't pick us. We're fine. I'm fine. I'm fine." So they were there, and so Venus was like hungry, and Liz was. They were talking about how Liz is sharing her rice with Venus and all kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, who did she pick between? And so then she stood there, and Jeff was like, "This is the longest I've ever had anybody make this decision. That's not a bad thing, just an observation." And so she was like, I can't make the decision. So Q and Liz do rock, paper, scissors. And she made them do rock, paper, scissors for it. And Q ends up winning. And she was like, okay, that's the decision. Q wins. So she takes Q on this reward after he just had Applebee's, even though she just had Applebee's, but she won the reward. So, of course, but she just had Applebee's and Liz had nothing. Now, even though me, if you saw my reaction to Liz and her fit about not going to the Applebee's challenge, I have no sympathy for this woman, honestly, because you are allergic to everything, but you chose to come to Survivor. It's no guarantee you go eat. And so to get mad when there's people don't feel sorry for you and take you on a reward that you did not win, mm, can you get mad and be mad? But she was mad at Q, and she was also mad at Maria for not picking her and making her do rock paper scissors. And it was like I would have respected her more if she would have just said, "I want to take Q." Like it was weird, but they were upset. And to get back to camp, the non-pizza people go off to go sit around the fire. The pizza people get to go to where the pizza is set up, and they get to enjoy. And Maria's like, people are going to be very mad at me for how I picked this. And honestly, it is what it is. She won the reward. She can pick who she wants, and you can be mad or not, but whatever. So I really have no sympathy for Liz and her not being able to eat anything because you knew that before you came in and and played on Survivor. So eh, it is what it is. So after the pizza people come back, everybody's doing their obligatory. Oh, how was it? Was it good? How much did you eat? Blah, blah, blah. But honestly, people were fuming because the non-pizza people were fuming. They want Q out this game. They were sitting around and felt like, I can't believe she took Q. We want Q. She made it obvious she is working with Q, and I can't understand why anybody want to work with Q. So if you want to work with Q, you can go. She can go. Blah 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 blah. They were pissed off, fire mad. They were mad, 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 and they were like, it don't make no sense. Why would she preference this, saying she is trying to look out for people who needs the food, who's and then not pick Liz or not pick Venus. Like we're like withering away. And it was so funny to me. I laughed. I was like, whatever, sure, I get it. You don't like how she worded it, but it comes down to the fact of it was her reward, and she could pick who she wanted, and she picked who she wanted. So you just gotta be mad. You just gotta be mad. But so Liz is like Maria's talking to Liz, and she's venting out her frustrations and her feelings, and she's like, "I don't understand why we're taking Q so far. He doesn't do anything. He uses up half of the firewood, and he's just lays around camp. Blah blah blah. I don't like him." And Q is walking right behind her, and Maria's like, "Liz," and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna stop talking. I'm not gonna hold my feelings back about these people anymore. I feel like I've been doing that my whole life, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like that's probably why I have so many allergies because I have been holding things in so much, holding my anger in so much that my body starts attacking things and attacking itself. And now I can't eat other things because my body's attacking itself because all of the anger and the things that I'm holding in. So I feel like that is why I might be allergic to things. And so I am not doing that anymore. I'm letting it out. I'm going to just say what I feel and just say it. And you know what, girl? Well, go ahead. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. Say how you feel about everything. Have no regards for people who you're talking about. Your words are your words. Your feelings are your feelings. And everything you say is very much valid. But I also want you to remember, just like your words are free, Consequences to your words are free too. Your words are free, and other people's actions to your words can be free too. Like what they say to you is free too. So, just a note to self: freedom of speech, absolutely. But there's also freedom of expression. And so, if I feel like expressing myself because of something your freedoms of speech said to me or about me, I'm just expressing myself. So accept that I'm expressing myself. Express that you who you talking to may express themselves or have freedom of speech to say something back to you because they no longer want to hold their feelings in either. You know, just word to the wise, just a little bit. But we move. So the scramble is on because now everybody's trying to figure out what to do. The girls want to vote Q. They're like, it got to be Q. We sick of Q. We tired of Q. It got to be Q. Maria, on the other hand, is like, I don't want it to be Q. I'm not pretty sure it should be Q. I kind of feel like it might need to be Venus at this point. And Venus is like, it's Q. And Charlie is stuck in the middle of both sides saying, we need you to go with Q. And Maria's like, his got to be Venus. So Charlie has to figure out which path he's going to take. Is he going to stick with Maria, who has been his day one, or is he going to go with the girls and vote out Q? And it was kind of trying to figure out what to do at that point. But they go to tribal, and Jeff says he brought his pillow because he wants to get comfortable. Brought his pillow, and he didn't bring popcorn this time. He brought licorice. Twizzlers, I said, but he didn't want to say Twizzlers. He bought licorice, and he was like, because I just like eating licorice while I watch a good show on TV. So he's eating the licorice, but he was like, I'm not going to give out everybody the licorice to Survivor, but I will give you one. So he gave out one licorice for them to split amongst themselves. I was like, you're sick, Jeff. Sick and twisted. Absolutely sick and twisted. But it is what it is. Um, so the tribal continues. They start talking, and Venus was going on about how sometimes the votes don't go the way you expect, but sometimes you're in the vote and sometimes you're out of the vote. And last week, the TIFF vote was the first time she was out of the vote, so she felt a little concerned about what that meant. And so Q decided to pipe in and was like, sometimes you just ain't gonna know. And he's like, because sometimes when you tell Venus something, she always goes into this aggressive thing and come up to people and be like, who you vote for? What are you doing? And she was like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not what I do. He was like, I just didn't know about that vote. He was like, it's the reason you didn't know about that vote. And because we can't tell you nothing. And she was like, well, this is the same. She said, well, I knew about the last 3 votes that you didn't know about, the 3 before that. So you were left out of 3 votes. And I was like, oop, she mothered you there. She kind of, goop, gagged you. He was like, what? I don't talk about no more, Jeff. Yeah, because Q, look, y'all know I always root for everybody black. Q was making it very hard to root for, but I still like Q because I feel like Q was getting this crazy edit that everybody don't understand and why he played the way he played. I kind of hope he get to the end just so he could explain his game. I want to see how he would explain the game and get people to listen to what he has to say. But I don't know if that's gonna happen for Q, but it would be an interesting concept to see Q make it to the end in Final Tribal trying to, sell his game. It'll be interesting to see that. But we have, Q and Venus little thing, they tiff going back and forth. And then Venus makes a point to say that because Jeff asked Maria about how she decided on her reward, and then Venus was like, and she was like, it was hard, Jeff. I hated doing that because I knew some people would be upset, da da da. And then so Venus was like, I mean, but you didn't have to pick it like you did. You could have just, you could have just said you want to pick you, and that's just it. And she was like, what do you mean? And she said, like, I mean, you had this act going on, like, I'm picking people who needs it, knowing that Liz hadn't eaten in so long, and but you preferenced it with I'm just like you're being protective over people, you're looking out for people, but you really weren't, because if you're truly looking for people who hadn't eaten or needed the food and the nourishment, you would have picked Liz. And she was like, she called it an act in a farce at some point, and Maria was like, if you think I'm acting and that was a farce, then you're sadly mistaken. Like that was the hardest decision I had to make. I didn't really want to win rewards because I didn't want to have to make that decision, but I knew winning immunity was something that I wanted to do. Blah blah blah. It's just it was just like Venus was like, well, you shouldn't have prefaced it that way. You should have just said that you picking people. She would respect you more if you just said I'm picking these people because I want to pick them, not preference it with I'm picking people because they need to eat, because those people who need to eat. He just ate. He didn't need to eat. And I was like, oh, gag her, Venus, gag her. Period. um, it was what it was. Venus was speaking, dropping knowledge, in my opinion, and I was like, work, because I understand. Like, don't tell me that you picking people who need food and the nourishment, and they're withering away and they struggling, and then you pick Q, who literally just had Applebee's 2 days ago, didn't even eat a burger because he was so full. He probably still full off of Applebee's. So it's kind of just like it was a weird choice, and it was weird for her to preference it that way. And I get why Venus was annoyed. I get why Liz was annoyed. Even though I don't have any sympathy for Liz, me personally, I get why she was annoyed at that moment. But so the votes happen, and we see Q vote for Venus, and we see Venus vote for Q. Um, and The votes came down, and it was Venus was the fifth member of our jury. And I was like, not you going home with that same idol in your pocket. This same idol you found and went out is now back, could go out again, but they don't know it's out because they didn't know she had it. So it's kind of wild. Kind of wild. But Venus is gone. And that's that. That's that, y'all. Ain't got nothing else. So we will be back next week. Same time, different panel. I'm sure we'll have everybody back next week. And we'll be talking about episode 12 of Survivor. And but subscribe to this channel on your way out. I appreciate you watching. It's been a joy talking with you, giving you my thoughts on Survivor. But we'll be back, like I said, next week, talking more Survivor. Hit the subscribe button on your way out. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video, because we put out content all the time on this channel. So you don't want to miss that. We got stuff coming up. Amazing Race is coming up, and we got the circle we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the GOAT when it comes out. And we got a lot of stuff coming up. Maybe some scripted TV happening on the Cup TV soon. So be sure to check all of that out. If you're a fan of drag or drag race of any kind, go check out the Cup Pod. We got a lot of videos coming out. As more seasons start, we will be covering all the seasons. If you're a fan of Eurovision, which is happening right now, as the recording is happening right now, you should go check that out. We've got a lot of video coming out and a lot of content happening for you, and some vlogs that's going to be happening from on the ground. We got some people who are at Eurovision from the panel, so be sure to check that out to get those reactions and recaps and things. And also, if you're a fan of wrestling, come check out the Cup Ringside. We would love to have you over there. Go check that out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bells, all the things that we talk about. We appreciate you. And go to our socials at the Cup Pod, at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, so you can have from all of our funniest moments from all four channels rather. And you get your cup mug. Period. I mean, you can follow me too. You see it down on my Twitter and all of that, and my Instagram is right there, right there, there. My Instagram is right there. So if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you can do that as well. Get your cup merch at lanatcreations.etsy.com. That link will also be in the description below. And on that note, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will see you next time. So, cheers, cheers to oi, ole, 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 ole.